Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko.
Welcome to another episode of Inside the Firm. We have Lance New York Cayko here. Just got back
Big
from
City.
an awesome trip. I should have went with Big City. I went with New York. Al, Raw Egg, Gore. You know, sometimes they get. A lot of times you get them. Sometimes they get you.
But pretty rare, it sounds like. Sounds like your gut's doing pretty good overall. A lot of probiotics over there.
It's probably
Al
a
probiotic Gore.
300 to 1 ratio. 300 times I get those raw
That's
eggs.
not bad. You can't win them all.
One time last night, they got me.
I would continue to do it.
Dude, that's my dilemma. It was bad. It was 3 hours of extremely rough life.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
I'll be all right. And one reason I know I'll be all right. Total side note before we get into this. This weekend is no screens weekend. We're putting the phones, everything in the pantry, and that's it. So if you're trying to get a hold of me, it ain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen.
So we have a great show for you today. Before we get into it, we will do our reads, but we are reviewing Mark LePage's The Economic Pulse is Dropping. Is your architecture firm ready? Obviously, Mark is one of our favorite friends. He's one of our besties. If we're not one of his besties, that's okay. If you claim them as your bestie, that's all. Then it's just automatically roped in. It's like it's an automatic thing. So that's what happens. Before we get too far, let's pay the bills. And how we pay the bills is by making you better at your job. Go to RevitRocketShip.com. Check out what we have there. Train you or your staff to all get on the same page so that you can be on a rocket ship of revenue, because the more you produce, the more you can bill out. RevitRocketShip.com.
Gain lessons learned and credits earned with Arcademy, ArcCat's continuing education platform. Listen to popular episodes of the Detailed podcast and earn AIA-approved HSW credits. Choose an episode, check out the learning objectives, and use what you've learned while listening to the course. The program is free and can be found on arcat.com under the Resources tab, or just go to arcat.com/ARCATEMY. That's ARCAT.com/ARCATEMY. Back to me, Al.
Back to you. The word I was looking for was reciprocal. That's how you can claim friends. It's a reciprocal act.
Good job. Just like that egg was reciprocal with you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
You gonna eat me? You gonna eat?
I'm gonna eat you from the inside out, is what that egg said. Yeah. The EntreArchitect community and Mark LePage over there has been putting out some awesome reports. Small Firm Business Pulse Report, which is great because it fills the gap on where the AIA misses overall with just focusing on larger firms. And so we are people. We are here, and we're doing the thing.
And if you want to download it yourself, type in https:// go to EntreArchitect.com/Q1 report. /Q1 report. That's where you can find this. We're going to go over it, but if you wanted to download it for yourself.
Yeah, check that out. Okay, so I of course, we gotta burn through this because we have a quick Friday, and so I'm gonna do a side by side here, and I've got some notes breaking it down. So Al, stop me as we go. Feel free to be interrupting Al today.
Oh yeah, permission.
So basically, want to just point out some big bullet points. So every quarter, this is produced with EntreArchitect and Archmark. Go check out Archmark too. And they're trying to track the economic health of small architecture firms, right? So us, people under 12, people under a staff of 12. The heavy hitters under 12. 213 firms responded to this survey. So if you should get on Mark's email list, number one, so that you can hopefully take this survey. I think it's very important that we help each other out by all. It's anonymous when you fill it out. You can, but the data you can give, yes, sure, it's anecdotal, but eventually it's empirical and stuff like that. There's some good news and there's some bad news in it. Al.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we scroll over to page 3 through 6, some things to note here are in quarter one, the BPI Business Pulse Index was at 54.4, which is down from 56.8 in quarter 4 and 57. So we're in a downward trend.
Yeah. Okay.
Third consecutive quarterly decline. Everybody knows that, though.
That's called a recession.
It's called a recession, although
There should be a new term in architecture.
it's not under 50, right? So it's above, which our notes kind of go on to talk about here. Like, it's still above neutral, but we're trending downward. There's growing pressure, and it's sort of like a game of like chicken and what is it called? Game of chicken. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
Where you're just like, or truth or dare or whatever. That's what it is. I was trying to go for truth or dare. Like, who's gonna budge first here? Right? Is it the private sector and everything else just kind of slowly we're gonna fall apart and all the deals are gonna go away, or is the Fed gonna budge eventually, or are we just all gonna hold tight? Maybe there's a third scenario.
Just yeah. A slow, steady march, not up, not down.
Yeah.
You're just on a hike.
Mm-hmm.
Just on a hike.
So I think people are cautiously optimistic. I know we are. There was something else I was going to read, and maybe we will get to that at some point. So this gal posted on LinkedIn a really interesting, really good point. And I think you have to really take this into mind. And it takes some cojones. It takes some big ovaries, if you're ladies listening to this, to, you know what I'm getting at,
Yeah.
to not pull all of your marketing, or like to not try to scale back your marketing efforts during a time like this. I think you should be doing what we're doing, which is like doubling, tripling down. I'm not saying, well, we are actually. We're spending, like, we actually just executed a change order this morning for our marketing, because I had an idea about how to market a little bit, just additives, like some additive marketing. But the real point that this gal got to is, like, during a downturn, if you have time, all of a sudden you have time, maybe, because you're not getting all these inquiries at the top, right? Like me and Al, we're running around, chasing work, meeting. All of a sudden it's like, wow, the inquiries are kind of, that's, I think at that point, you need to start reaching out to people, like, go meet with the builders, go meet with the realtors, go have those meetings with people that you couldn't figure out how to make an hour happen, right?
Yep.
It took us 3 weeks, for example. I think we're having coffee next week, finally. Not going to name the firm, but, like, we've been
real busy too.
I know, exactly. So but, like, in a downtime, we would have had more time, right?
Yep. And then up who you compete against, right? Ooh. So here's the concept. Let's say there's 4 tiers of architects. And let's just say one is the unlicensed drafters doing the lowest fees, moonlighters, things like that. Then there is just the, small 1 to 4 person firm, just doing whatever they can get their hands on. And I'm doing these in tiers of fees. Then there's the, I'm established, I make decent fees, right? So that's level 4. And then level 5 is you're basically a high-end luxury architect in whatever you do. So if you are in the first run, well, one, get licensed and all that. But you want to move up your firm, you want to move up your reputation, you want to move up your graphics on your website so that you're looking like tier 2, right? And if you're at tier 2, you want to move up to compete against tier 3. If you're tier 3, so think about this. Let's say things are down and not going as well. If you can move up in tiers and you're the lower fee in that upper tier, you're making progress. Right? So don't compete. Like, if you are concerned and if you're getting beat by bottom of the barrel people, don't look like them. Don't.
Yep. And to figure out, like, a different lane to expand into. So our big one was, like, yes, we're like strangely busy with a strangely big backlog. We were just talking about this, like, earlier this week, me and Al, in one of our boss talks. And it was but at the same time, it's not like I'm running to inquiry after inquiry after inquiry. So it's still not as busy as I've, because, like, if I would say a busy week for me, a very busy week for me would be, I have 3 to 5 sales meetings.
Yep.
That feels about right. Just a guesstimate, I guess. If I'm only doing 1 or 2 now, then we've really been trying to do is break into the public sector. So figure out how you get on your local BidNet, whatever state you're on, so you can start looking at work. There's also other websites that your state probably has where they can actually put out RFQs and RFPs for people that are under $50,000 dollars. That's just Colorado, and to where it doesn't have to be a competitive. It can be a selective bid versus a higher one. There's all kinds of ways to like crack in. Go meet with like your local university and say, hey, facilities manager, do you guys have any upgrades coming on board? Like you're trying to upgrade all the bathrooms to be ADA compliant. Perfect way for you to get in.
Yeah.
Perfect way. Like is Gensler Architecture going to go after those projects? No, but maybe Goshler Architecture, a team of one.
Yeah, Gosling Architecture.
There you go, Ryan Gosling.
Our firm is Knuff.
Yeah.
It's funny because I absolutely feel that way. I'm sure that you are. I'm sure a normal week is 5 because you texted me while you were in New York and it's like, hey, what are you doing for sales? How are things going? I'm like, oh, I got a couple. Well, I just 3 projects that I'm bidding on, and we'll probably get 2 of them. Yeah.
I think that's where I was landing this week too, is like 2 or 3. So yeah, it's like medium. It's not low, but then I think you should be striving to fill that to get the medium high up to 3 or 5, 4 to 5 swings at making a home run. Okay. Some financial performance trends. This is on page 4 or 5, 18 and 19 if you're following along in the PDF. If you've downloaded it, 34% of firms saw increase in billings. 38% saw a decrease. 37% saw more inquiries. 35% saw fewer. Only 25% saw higher contract value. So again, sort of like mixed signals. It's split. Some of us are feasting. Some of us are fasting. Business process weaknesses. Self-rated. This is all self-rated by firms, right? I was saying like it's this anecdotal stuff, but it becomes empirical after a while. 38% say sales effectiveness is working. 39% say project management is strong. And only 28% feel good about cash flow management. Why do you think that is? Why do you think only a quarter of the 231 architects that were polled on this, Al, are saying cash flow management? I think they're probably making a fundamental mistake.
What do you think it is?
I don't think they're asking for a deposit up front.
I think that's true. I also think as well, what's weird is that we actually have enough work. It's just getting us to execute to those deliverables has been the issue. And maybe that's just because like it's summer, the vacations have started, things like that.
Not only that, but the projects are smaller right now. It's a lot of volume.
Yeah.
I think.
Yep. And then you can run into the problem of thrashing with too many small projects.
What it is. Yeah.
And thrashing is a computer analogy where too many tasks, you ask the computer, you have 49 windows open, you have 4 different programs open, and all it can do is just like maintain the status quo and not actually get anything done, right? So when you go with volume, you have to be aware of that concept and how to do it, and then you probably have to discipline yourself to like, hey, instead of just always just answering emails or getting little parts out because I have to go on to the next one, it's like, nope, I need to not only get this little part out, I need to get to a deliverable, go from there. Yeah.
Economic confidence and sentiment, again, pages 4, 5, and 18. The current health rating is 6.2 out of 10, but the future confidence rating in the next 90 days was only polled at 5.9, so speaking more to that downward trend. Nearly half of the architects polled in this have only one full-time employee, which actually makes sense. That's, I think, a third of architects are just sole proprietors, 30 or 40%. You would know this.
Yeah.
And so there's a heavy use of freelancers and independent contractors right now. It's kind of like the gig economy again, which makes sense. That's also, it's a good and a bad thing, right? Because if you're hiring independent contractors, sure, you're lowering your overhead, and yes, you are giving someone employment. Like, you're doing a good thing for the world. But good luck with your culture. Like, if you're trying to build some kind of a culture at your company and your firm, I think that's pretty difficult to do.
And it's hard to learn. It's hard to learn and grow too. There's just, I mean, we could go on a whole side topic of it if we.
But
really
that's the
wanted
major
to.
point.
Yeah.
So it's like double-edged sword with everything, right?
Yep.
I'm going to give you some winners and losers, Al.
Okay.
Pages 7 and 10. You're going to like to hear this. Top performer,
Woo!
Mountain Region.
Let's go.
The BPI was at 61.0. That's awesome. And includes Colorado, Utah, Arizona. By the way, Mark, thanks for putting Colorado at the beginning. We're the most important.
Yeah.
I
He didn't
agree.
even go alphabetical. Colorado is the coolest.
Tallest state in the nation. Okay? We're looking down at y'all.
Yeah.
Over 50% of firms saw growth in billings in inquiries. And the struggling region, the loser here, North, Central, Midwest, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Their BPI was only 49.7, so weakest overall. Be careful there. But still, they're teetering like right on the edge of good, right on the edge of bad. So we're crushing it out here in the Mountain West. People are still moving here, I think. I just there's a lot of people. I mean, we have some new clients that are literally moving from Manhattan. We're doing the interior of their home, actually part of the exterior too. It's going to be a beautiful house. So people still have that East West Coast money moving in, buying up property.
Blog idea.
Yeah.
Title: When moving to Colorado from a different state, and then like subheadings: New York, Chicago,
I like it.
California.
I like it. Somebody write that down.
Yep. Send it to us.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Strategic recommendations. Pages 11 and 12. Number 1, enhance your cash flow. And you can do that by milestone billing. You're forecasting with real-time tools. But I think the number one thing that's probably missed from this is not a dig just to take, is that, again, you should be asking for retainers. If you're doing tenant improvements, we do so many tenant improvements now. I'm really shocked about how much we're doing lately. And the tenant improvement projects for us, like restaurants, we're going to be building 4 restaurants this year, which is unbelievable. Like I would have never guessed I'm going to be building 4 restaurants. Honestly,
I know. No.
but we're so for us, that's been a huge lifeboat, is taking on these projects. And for those projects, like they're not huge fees. They're not the smallest fees. They're like schmedium fees, and we asked for 50% up front, and that is massive. Schmedium.
Love it.
So even, and then on your bigger projects like 10-20% down, that's huge. It's so huge for your firm to be getting deposits and retainers down. I think if you're asking for 0% down, I don't know. I think you're doing it wrong. So that's the number one way. Actually, I think you should you can enhance your cash flow. Don't dig into your credit cards to do it. You should be getting the cash up front. Strengthen your marketing. We already talked about this. Nail your value position. Boost digital presence. Quickest, easiest way to boost your digital presence, I'm telling you, is your Google business page. It can't be easier than that. Here's what I would do. Here's the quickest, easiest way to do it too if you're just a sole proprietor and you're really trying to, I wouldn't go through lead generation like Thumbtack at this. Like, yes, still do that, but the easiest one is Google Business. Get it up. Get your best photos up. Go through your whole Rolodex of past clients. Ask for as many 5-star reviews as you feel as you think you will get. Like, they obviously got to be clients that like you and all that good stuff. Reply to all of their 5-star reviews. Try to use Grok, use ChatGPT to help you craft responses to them that use keywords like best architect in New Jersey, stuff like that. And then make sure that you have a nice description about everything. But what I would do is I would if it was me, I would Google best architect in New Jersey, and then I would copy. I would tell my Grok or my ChatGPT, I go, we're going to analyze our competitors today. And it would say, okay. And then I would copy that all that text in, and I go, how do we beat all of these people? And then I would feed it my usual information that I have of like from my resumes or whatever from my firm, and then I would crank it out that way. Optimize your operations. You should go to revitrocketship.com. Yep. You should go to buildabetterco.com. You should do all of those things. You should use KPIs. That's huge. Monitor your conditions. Watch the BPI. Sign up for the newsletter so you can get Mark's quarterly reports, and then adjust your prices and services. You have to lose some. I think that's the big one, is like, you need to figure out how to get enough inquiries that are similar to test prices. So if you get like a restaurant inquiry, you get 3 of them 1 week.
Yep.
You should say, here's my usual fee. I'm going to just throw one in the dark here.
Mm-hmm.
That's higher, and maybe even one higher or something like that. Like,
Sure.
You got to figure out where your limits are.
Yep.
Because it'll tell you, the market will tell you real quick. But you got to get those referrals in, or those inquiries. And the final reflections here is just some bullet points. I think it should be obvious, like everybody's cautiously optimistic, cautiously resilient. You got to adapt. You got to be flexible. We talked about that the last couple of weeks. Like the flexibility right now, you need to be super flexible. What do you got, Al?
I love this. It's not about tech or trends. It's about trust. The human factor is still the secret weapon. Demonstrating that you can get done what they want to do is your key to success for closing a deal.
You got it. So short and sweet one this week. We will see you next week. Enjoy your last weekend of May. See ya.
Bye.